Hey guys, so something a little different today. Do a little ETS. We got a load of peas going from Dover to Cambridge. We're in the UK right now, so wrong side of the road driving today, which is going to be interesting if I can remember to keep that up. But traffic is still turned off if you watch the video on the hidden roads. But I'll get more into that here in a minute. So let's go ahead and get cruising here and see what we can get into. So I'm driving the Mercedes Actros. Um, it's a name I'm familiar with. There's no reason I actually run these. That's probably my second or third one. This profile's pretty newish, we'll say. I'm gonna turn right and open the rest of this road. I'm also using automatic mode because their shifting system's a little different over here. And I've kind of got my shifter set up for an 18 speed, kind of. But with traffic being off, I'll be running red lights and things like that. I'm just gonna kind of ride, enjoy the game. Once I can get these graphics straightened out, then where it's not stuttering, and that's what I was going to get into a minute ago. So there's been a lot of stuttering in ETS and both ATS as well. Noticeably worse over here, and that started in patch 1.59. And maybe it's some of the mods that I'm running. I've kind of been playing with that a little bit too, but I don't want to disable all my trucks. I got a few trucks over here I shouldn't have over here, and I'm not going to get into those. But, so yeah, we're just going to kind of ride along. Their speed limits are mile per hour, and I've still got this set on kilometers for the European stuff. So we'll just kind of ride along and enjoy the ride here a little bit. I figured this be something a little bit different. I don't think I've actually ever put up a ETS2 video or live stream yet. Me and Papa's talked about doing some videos together on here, but we haven't done any trucking in a while, mostly because I've been on a night schedule. By the time I'm going to bed, he's getting up and wanting to do stuff. So kind of is what it is. So we'll see if me and him get back together with doing some trucking stuff and kind of go from there. But in the meantime, I'm just going to be doing some solo stuff. So here in Europe, um, my knowledge of Europe is very, very, and I mean very small. I've done a lot of Google research and mostly out of curiosity stuff. Um, One was I looked up DOT regulations, mostly the logbook stuff. I'm obviously, as most people know, I am a truck driver in real life in the US. So I know our logging system and how that works. And I was curious of how similar it was in ETS. So the US, you can drive up to 11 hours a day. You can have a full on-duty time of 14 hours. That can go past 14 hours, but you can't drive at that point. So if you're, say you drove 8 hours to a customer to make, say, a delivery, and then you get hung up there, typically you would be off duty, but eventually your 14-hour clock would kind of run out in a sense because you got a 14-hour window to do everything in. So if you were, say, on duty because you had to assist with unloading and you're on duty, for say 5 hours, so now you're way past your 14, that's legal, but you can't drive at that point and it affects your hours. At that point, you have to take a 10-hour break, either in the sleeper or off duty in a motel or at home. And then you can come back to work and continue out whatever you're going to do. In the US, there's two different kind of week rules. You got the 60-hour or the 70-hour. So 60-hour is based on a 6-day, 70 is based on a 7-day. I'm more familiar with running the 77 or 70 for 7 days. So what that means is that once you hit all your hours, which is driving and on-duty hours combined, once that hits 70 hours, you got to wait for time to come back, either by previous days or it varies on what you're looking for, but most people, what they do is once they hit that 70-hour or close to it, they do what they call a 34-hour reset. which is where you're either off duty or in the sleeper for a solid 34. You can't go on duty for nothing, even to move the truck or drive or get work done on it or anything. So you got to be off during that a lot of time, because if not, you're waiting for what was on day 7. When day A hits, day 7 would kind of disappear. So those hours, say that there was 9.5 hours, then you would be able to pick up 9.5 hours to drive, and then you're just kind of cramping yourself. The reset works a lot better. So that was one thing I was curious about. So in Europe, from the way I understand it, they can drive, I think it's 10 hours, and then I can't remember what their break is. And then they have a maximum amount of hours a week. And I can't remember what that number is, but what I do know is they have to take, I think it's a 2-day break once they hit that maximum number of hours. And it cannot be in a truck. It's got to either be in a hotel or it's got to be in a at home base. So that there kind of explained to me why there's so many hotels with sleep triggers in Europe. So that was one thing I learned. Other thing that I learned too was, or that I Google searched, was a lot of their road system and their traffic signs. Because to me, I mean, it's foreign. You know, I don't know what half these signs mean and what I'm supposed to do. But I spent a little bit of time reading them and trying to understand them. I don't fully understand them. I just kind of go with the flow. I mean, the game is pretty much going to dictate what roads you're allowed to drive on and, you know, things like that. So it's not like you're going to get in a pickle, you know, being on roads you shouldn't be on. Sorry, I had to get some to drink. So in real life, I've only been to the European countries 2 times. The first time, I think I was around 13, maybe 14. Um, my dad was working a job over in Saudi Arabia, and we took vacation and we went to Ayia Napa, Cyprus. And while we were there, we went to some caves. I am a certified diver with PADI. I've been certified since I was 13 years old. I'm certified all the way through rescue diver. Now, I haven't dove in many, many, many years, probably since I was about 16, I think 16 or 17. So I would have to take a refresher to be able to dive again, but I am certified, and I'm certified all the way up into rescue. And at the time, that was as high as I could go until I turned 18. The next step after that was going to be an instructor's assistant or an instructor. My dad, he's also fully certified, or was when he was alive. And he's certified all the way up in nitrix. And I think he's also certified in instructor assistant or something like that. I can't remember exactly what the term is. So we did some diving and stuff while we was there. And that was pretty fun. We went on this one big ship dive. I cannot remember the name of that thing, but it was supposed to be the unsinkable version of the Titanic, and of course it sunk in the early 80s, I think around 82 or 83. So this is where I'm familiar with the Mercedes, because when we were in Saudi, I've seen a lot of Mercedes cab over trucks, and on that shipwreck, the top deck had Mercedes trucks that were still, well, chained down, but the ship was on its side, so it was kind of hanging by the chains. That's part of the reason why I usually pick the Mercedes over most trucks. And the other time we went to European countries, we were in Ayia Napa for, I think, 2 weeks. And then we spent about 2 weeks in Munich, Germany. And I had a heck of a time there. I enjoyed that as a kid. And that was some pretty cool country. I think we ended up going into Austria by accident on train because we were going somewhere else. I think we just kind of goofed. And but I got to do a lot of touring with the family. We went and seen a lot of the castles and scenic areas. And I remember me and my dad walking around the downtown area talking about the buildings and stuff like that, and just how neat it was. Got some pretty cool souvenirs from both areas. Germany in particular, my dad got a really nice cuckoo clock, which I'm hoping to claim someday on my own. But so yeah, that's pretty much my knowledge of Europe, other than playing this game. So the road systems, the road network, stuff like that, I really don't understand. I just kind of follow the GPS in the game and hope for the best. So, but I know a couple of you that watch my videos do play ETS. Um, so yeah, I figured why not? I was already over here when I was doing the hidden road video, and it's just kind of where I left off in the gaming side of it. I was like, hey, you know what? I'm already over here. Let's do a video. Let's do a little trucking. Let's have a little ride and enjoy the scenery. So I apologize for me clearing my throat. I do not know why my throat decides that this is the time to do this when I'm trying to do recordings. But yeah, um, I have way less hours in this game versus ETS. I mean ATS. ATS, I've got almost 1,600 hours or somewhere around there, and in here I think I got like 350. So you can tell which game I like the most. But I originally only got ETS because of Truckers MP years ago. I'd seen where Truckers MP and I was playing on ATS, but there wasn't hardly any people on ATS because ATS was still kind of new at the time. It was just released about 6 months beforehand, and I seen that there was a lot more people that played on ETS. So I picked the game up, and the only reason I played on ATS for a while was just to be on Truckers MP around other people versus just by myself all the time. But I learned the hard way with ETS, and well, with Truckers MP in general. There was so many trolls that would try to mess up your day, and I got tired of it. When the convoy thing came out for both games, I pretty much deleted and uninstalled Truckers MP and haven't looked back. So in ETS, I just kind of recently picked it back up again. I told Papa I was wanting to do a little trucking, and we got to playing with some mods and stuff like that, and found that there was some mods that we already had that we could use over here. So we started messing around over here. So we get on over here and we truck around for maybe a day or two at a time. We've been the last time we were running up in northern Norway and Sweden and Finland, trying to open up a lot of that. We kind of did a little tour running loads along the coastlines of all that stuff. So slow down here. Yeah, this profile was created sometime in the middle of last year, so it's about a year old maybe, but with very little progression. As you can see, I'm opening up a lot of things here, so using a lot of similar mods. As you can tell, I'm still using Morgan Freeman. I haven't tried Jay Leno over here yet, but this is still a fun game. It's real pretty over here, and I do like coming over here from time to time and messing around. Where am I? Oh, we're going right there. See if we can park this thing. I don't hit nothing on the way here. Their parking lots are weird. Come on. So I get this thing straightened out here. Wasn't half bad so far. One thing that I don't do a lot of the parking over here is their trailers in Europe have steerable axles on the trailers, and it really screws me up trying to back them up. I am not used to those. But this trailer isn't as horrible. So there we go. Straighten my wheel out here a little. All right. And I did some level cheats and stuff like that to first get started on this one, if I remember right. I can't really remember. But anyhow, go back outside, get this thing off. Yeah, I'm a little crooked here, but Hope you like that little paint scheme. I thought that was really cool. I did the paint scheme on this. This is the original truck I started with, and then I've been messing with some of the modded trucks. So as y'all seen in the last video, we do have the Dodge over here, and also have the Freightliner Classic as well. So that's another truck I'll probably switch to eventually. But anyways, guys, so that's going to be the end of this video. I hope y'all enjoyed, and I will catch y'all next time. See ya.